Yeah, okay. Today let us study about the digital electronics. All of you are already familiar with the analog electronics. Analog electronics. Okay. What is analog electronics? In analog electronics, you always get the output of an electronic circuit in accordance with the input signal. Okay. Whatever the changes that you are doing in the input signal, those changes are okay. Those changes are reflecting in the output part. Okay, this is analog electronic circuit. Okay, input, whatever the changes you are doing in the input circuit, at the input part of the circuit, those changes are reflecting at the output part of the circuit. Okay, as you change input voltage, the output voltage also varies according to the changes in the input signal. Okay, such operations are called linear operations. So this device is acting as a linear device. Why? Because output is proportional to the input. Okay, this is about analog electronics. Okay, now we are talking about whatever the electronics we are studied so far is the analog electronic circuit. Analog analog electronics. Okay, we studied about the analog electronic circuits so far. Now we are going to study about the digital electronics or digital electronic circuits. Digital electronic circuits. Okay, so what is digital electronics? See, you are familiar with so many analog electronic devices as well as digital electronic devices. For example, you are familiar with the digital watch. Okay, digital watch. So ordinary analog, you also familiar with the ordinary analog watch. That means ordinary watch in which minutes hand, hours hand, and second hands move continuously. They move continuously. But if your watch is digital type, then you see the jumping up of the second hands. Okay, second's hand. That means until 1 second time it will be staying there only. After 1 second time, okay, it moves on to the next line. So here it is not continuously represent giving the time. Okay, time representation is discrete, not continuous. Okay, after certain time interval, it is simply the second hand simply going over to that number or that line. Okay, see this is what the nature of the digital electronics. Actually, when the second hand was at the initial position, say this is a 0 seconds. See, after 1 second time, it simply jumps to the next line. See, this is 1 second. That means time elapsed between these two lines is 1 second. So next time also it jumps after 1 second. So it moves like this. It jumps. The second hands moves by jumps. Here that some discrete nature is there. Okay, time is not continuously represented here. Okay, when the time limit x is just 1 second, then the pointer moves to another line. Okay, so here this watch only moves to another line after comparing the time limit with the preset 1 second value. So all the functioning of the digital electronic circuits will be like this only. Okay, see why these digital electronic circuits are so important. Why? Because these designing of these electronic circuits is very easy. Designing of these electronic circuits is very easy. See, importance of digital electronic circuits. See, what is the importance of these digital electronic circuits? Okay, these electronic circuits are very easy to design. First point, these electronic circuits are very easy to design. Okay, see, we can store the information in these digital electronic circuits for long periods. Okay, storage of data for long periods happens in these digital electronic circuits. Next, what is the other advantage of these digital electronic circuits? See, this is the important advantage of the digital electronic circuits. These circuits can be easily used in the making of integrated electronic circuits. Okay, these digital electronic circuits are very useful in making integrated electronic circuits. Okay, integrated electronic circuits. Yeah, these digital electronic circuits can be easily used to make the integrated circuit chips. Okay, right, this is about the importance of the digital electronic circuits. What are the importance of these digital electronic circuits? These circuits are very easy to design. Okay, these circuits can store the data for the long time. Okay, see, these electronic circuits can be easily placed on integrated circuit chips. Okay, these are the three main advantages of the digital electronics or digital electronic circuits. See, in all these digital electronic circuits, information is stored in the binary form. Information is stored in the binary form. So in digital electronic circuits, we use binary system of numbers. Binary system of numbers. Okay, that you have to remember. See, all the information in the digital electronic circuits is stored in the form of zeros and ones. Okay, why? Because you know that 0 and 1 are the two digits used in the binary number system. Okay, binary number system. See, here in all these circuits, voltages between 0.0 to 0.8 typical range, okay, are considered as binary 0. Okay, 0 means in these digital electronic circuits the voltage is in between 0 to 8 volts, whether it may be the input of the digital electronic circuits or it may be the output of the digital electronic circuits. Okay, next, voltages ranging from 2 to 5 volts are considered as binary 1. Okay, binary 1, right? So in this way we use only 0 and 1 to represent the signals in these digital electronic circuits, right? Next, these fundamental digital electronic circuits are called as the logic gates. Okay, these are the fundamental blocks of the digital electronic circuits. So what is the actual definition of logic gate? See, logic gate is a device which operates by making use of some logic. Okay, the operational principle of the logic gate will be some particular logic. These electronic circuits take decisions based on some logic. Next, we are talking about logic gates. What is meant by a logic gate? Let us try to give the correct definition of a logic gate. Okay, logic gate. Okay, it is an electronic circuit with an electronic circuit with one or two inputs and only one output. This is what the definition of a logic gate. Okay, we use these logic gates as a fundamental blocks to build the big digital electronic circuits. Why these electronic circuits are called as a logic gates? Why? Because these electronic circuits take decisions based on some logic. That logic is also particularly Boolean logic. These gates function according to the laws of the Boolean algebra. Okay. Now let us see how many types of these logic gates are there. Okay, there are so many logic gates. There are some primary logic gates and there are some secondary logic gates. Okay, we may divide these logic gates into two categories. Say primary logic gates. Next, secondary logic gates. See, so what are the primary logic gates? You may consider this OR logic gate, OR gate. Okay, next AND gate. Okay, and NOT gate. Okay, you may consider these three gates as a primary logic gates. Okay, all the remaining gates are called as the secondary logic gates. Why? Because you can build the remaining logic gates like NOR, okay, NAND, and XOR, XOR, XNOR. These are all the secondary gates. Okay, you may build these gates based on these three fundamental logic gates. Okay, see, if you are able to construct the OR and NOT gates, then by making use of those circuits, you may construct the secondary logic gate circuits. Okay. Right. Now, the operation of these logic gates is represented by truth table. Okay, truth table. We write the values. We write the both input and output values in these truth tables. The last column and first one or two columns will be the inputs of any gate, and the last column will be the output of any gate in this truth table. Okay, the output will be according to some Boolean logic. Okay, right. Now let us try to understand the operation of these gates one by one. First of all, let us try to understand the functioning of these primary gates. Okay. Yeah, now we are going to discuss about first logic gate, OR gate. OR gate. See, what is how and what logic this logic gate operates. The output of this OR gate will be high when any one of the inputs is high. See, for this OR gate we are having two inputs and one out. Two inputs and one output. Out of those two inputs, if any one of those two inputs is high, then the output will always be high. If you are having two inputs as high, then no problem. In that case also you obviously get high output. So this is what the logic on which this OR gate functions. See, we have to construct an electronic circuit, okay, which functions according to this statement, our condition. Okay, what is the condition here? Your electronic circuit must give high output whenever any one of the two inputs is high. We have to construct the OR gates by keeping in mind this statement. Okay, your electronic circuit must implement this statement. Okay, very simple way to understand the functioning of the gates is to consider switches. Only by making use of the switches you can implement switches and bulbs. Okay, you can implement this statement. Okay, you can implement the logic of the OR gate. Okay, you may construct the OR gate by making use of switches and bulbs. It is a very simple way. Okay, let us see that now. Yeah, here see, this is a battery. Okay, now I am trying to construct the OR gate by making use of the switches and bulbs. Of course, battery is also necessary in order to get the current. See, here I am going to construct a circuit with these are the tab keys are the switches. Okay, this is a switch, first one, second one is a B switch, So here I am connecting a bulb. Okay, see, all of you know that whenever the circuit is closed, then the bulb glows in the circuit. The current coming out from this battery have to reach this bulb. For that, the circuit must be closed. The circuit must be closed. See, the current is passing through this positive, coming out from this positive terminal of the battery. It is going into this branch circuit. See, it is going like this, like this. See, whenever the switches are open, then this entire circuit becomes open. Okay, that means here A is in the low state, A is in the low state, B also is in the low state. That means 0 state. In this case, why? Because here you are having some gaps now, here and here. Okay, so this bulb does not glow. That means output is also low. Output is also low. These are the inputs. This is the output. See, whether you have to check whether these inputs and outputs are according to our statement of OR gate, definition of OR gate. Okay. See, in the OR gate, we should all whenever any one of the two inputs is high, then your output must be high. Since you are having now two inputs low, your output is also low. Why? Because here there is some gap in the circuits, current does not flow into this bulb, so bulb is not glowing. That's why bulb is in the low state. So whenever your inputs A and B are low, output is also low. Okay, next. Yeah, you see here, now what I am doing is I am closing one of the two switches. Okay, here I am closing this A switch. Okay, I am pressing it down so that the circuit closes here on this spot. Now A switch is conducting the current, that's why it is high. A is high. I am not touching B. B is low. That means it is 1, it is 0. So what is your output? Y is equal to low or high. See, now even though this part is open, see, now you can find the closed circuit connecting the bulb. So the current is passing through the bulb and bulb is glowing, so you are getting the high output. You are getting the high output. See, we have to check whether this circuit is functioning according to the definition of OR gate or not. See, when I am making one of the two inputs high, that's why our output is high. Okay, so this circuit is functioning according to the definition of the OR gate. Okay, if you close the B gate and open the A gate, then what happens? You will find a closed circuit here, and now also bulb glows. Okay, here this is B now. B is high now. Again I am opening the A. A is low. A is low, B is high. In this case also we are having the closed circuit connecting the bulb, so our output is high. Output is high. Okay, suppose that you are closing the two switches. Then what happens? Yeah, you are closing your two switches. That means A is high, B is high, and your output, now see, it is very easy to find a closed circuit either through A or through B. Okay, so current is very simply passing through the bulb, so bulb is glowing, so again you get high output. See here, two inputs high means output is also high. This is also according to the definition of the OR gate. Okay, see now, so this circuit with the switches and bulbs is also acting as an OR gate. Okay, but this is a very fundamental circuit. We considered this just to understand the logic of the OR gate, but actual OR gate will be constructed with the help of the diodes. Now you try to construct a circuit with diodes, but implementing the same logic. See, whatever the readings we observed so far can be summarized in the form of the truth table. See, I am writing the truth table. Truth table. Okay, here I am taking the truth table. Okay, these are the inputs. The last column is the output Y. Okay, say this A, say this B, say this Y. Output. See, now you may take 0, 0, low, low, your output will be low. If you make one of the two inputs high, then your output will be high. Even if you make A1 and B0, then also you are going to get 1. If you take both of these three, both of these A, B high, then also you are going to get high. Why? Because it is enough to have high output, okay, with any one of the two inputs is high. If you are having two inputs high, no problem. In that case also you are going to have the high output. See, in Boolean algebra, okay, these results, this output is accordance with the rule A plus B, Y is equal to A plus B. See, these results are according to the formula Y is equal to A plus B. Okay, so OR gates operates on this logic. Y is equal to A plus B, A or B. That means if either A or B is high, then you are going to get the output high. Y is high. Okay, this is what the truth table of the OR gate. Now let us try to build the OR gate with the help of diodes and resistors. This is what the actual OR gate we use in digital electronic circuits. See, for that what we have to do here, we are trying to build the actual OR gate. Okay, here, see now here we are taking two diodes. Okay, we are taking two diodes. See, this is A. Here you are going to apply A input. Here you are going to apply B input. See, you are using one diode, say D1 in this way. You are using another diode D2 in this way. Now what you are doing is here you are taking one resistance and you are connecting the D1 and D2 to the ground through this resistor. See, here you are going to get the output, okay, output across this resistor, right, across this resistor.